Welcome to Under the Radar with me, Sean Hughes. I am so happy Reece Shearsmith's agreed to come in. I've been trying to get you in for a while. We're mates.
We are.
But we don't talk anymore.
I know, yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Well...
I'm sorry. That's a really bad way.
The real reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason. It's just busy people, aren't we?
Well, yeah, no, because you've been so busy. Like the first thing I wanted to ask you is because you did that sly comeback with the League of Gentlemen.
Oh yes, we did for the Royal Free, yeah,
which went really, really well.
Yes, that was extraordinary actually, because it was on a great bill of very much bigger people than us, like Rowan Atkinson and Harry Hill, and they left us till. We got in the dressing room and we said, "When are we on? I want to get back. I want to go to bed."
Yeah, I know.
And they said,
that's what like.
You're on last. We were headliners.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I found it strange. I've always maintained that we were never that loved or liked or known.
But now you know it.
But now apparently it was a really great programme that everyone reveres.
And so were they shouting back the lines at you and stuff? Or?
No, not particularly. I mean, I think there was some people there that maybe thought, who are these people? But generally it was like it was a thing that we would reformed for those three sketches.
Actually, that's the other thing I wanted to say to you was I was reading recently, because I know when you've been doing your straight plays, that sometimes people shout up League of Gentlemen stuff.
Yeah, I've had that, yes.
That's been happening to what's his face doing Richard the Third or Richard the Second.
Oh, Martin.
Yeah, they'd be shouting up Hobbit stuff.
Really?
And also apparently giving him standing ovations every time he walked on, which kind of kills the play.
Yeah, well, that's hard to. If it was disruptive, then that's not good, is it? Yeah, I don't know about it. Is this true, or is it just like hearsay?
Well, I read about it. I think it was in the Metro, so it's probably not true.
Right.
Because isn't their first 8 pages now corrections of mistakes they made the day before on their paper?
Is it? Yes,
I think that's the first 8 pages.
Right.
Sorry, we made a mistake about this, blah, 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 blah.
I don't read that.
So, are you...
So, yeah, that was a great thing, and it was, and then we had a lot of interest going, would you do more League of Gentlemen? I was like, well, you didn't want it. Who won? No, I don't think so, not for the moment.
So you're pretty much an actor now, then?
Well, it always was one, Sean.
I know, but the League of Gentlemen was you writing...
Comedy, yeah.
Comedy.
Well, we're doing Inside Number 9, which I think is meant to be funny.
No, it isn't.
So I do feel like I'm still kind of in the comedy world. But yeah, and I do like acting, yeah. And they're all acting projects to me. But
when you started off, did you see yourself as a comic or an actor?
I think an actor that could do comedy, enjoyed doing comedy, and had that more of a bent than straight drama.
But when the three of you got together, it was as a comedy group rather than an acting group, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But the thing that set it apart was that it was well acted. And I think we just wanted it. The discipline that we approached the sketches was as if it was you had to sit down and watch it like a piece of theatre. And that was what was difficult about going to Edinburgh and being among groups of, on a bill with other stand-ups. We were the worst thing on it because they were all addressing the audience. We came on doing our little fourth wall sketches, and it was terrible.
Do you know the first time I saw you was at that horrible pub in Highgate?
The Gatehouse.
Yeah, when you were trying. That was the
second.
Things.
Yeah, that was the. We were trying new stuff out on stage. For
you
the
were
second
great,
series.
by the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was second series stuff. Trying it out on stage before we thought, yes, it works. Because we'd done that with the first lot. We thought, let's just do it live, tried and tested, and then we can dare to think it'll be all right.
See, now, knowing you quite well, because we did, we shared a room for 4 months doing As You Like It. Which was 25 minutes too long. We still must agree. You know that song at the end? We were all just going, why are we doing this song?
Doing a dance, yeah. It was a curious production, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a tiny moment. Do you remember that moment when, I don't know what the scene was, where the grape fell down the stage?
Oh, yes, that one. It rolled and rolled, didn't it? Yeah.
And we just played that out.
Yeah, watching this grape roll down the stage.
And also, it was that weird thing of, because, for people who don't know, you'll always have an understudy. Yeah. But my girlfriend in it, the understudy was a bloke. And he had to come on. And do you remember we did that thing of, which we totally went off script and just went, I think that's a bloke.
Yes, that's right.
I think we got into trouble about that as well, didn't we?
Probably, yeah. You can't improvise Shakespeare. But we did, yeah, we'd made a comment on it.
Well, remember, the director said, I was the only one. Sean, you're Anarchy. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But the rest of us were going, don't ever put a foot out of place.
You were a fool, yeah.
But it was I remember just trying to make Dominic West corpse in the last 20 minutes. every
Yeah, he's
night.
a very sly, very dry fellow, isn't he? He's funny. He's got a funny sense of humour.
Yeah, he's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. You'd have to kind of get past it. Initially, you could think I was taking him all the wrong way to start with, but then I realised he's very funny.
Well, you know what he said? I went out with him one night, and he said to me, "I pretend to be thick,
Right.
so when people realise I'm actually clever, they get really surprised."
Right, yeah, and then therefore elevate him to even cleverer than he actually is.
Yeah, but he did go to Eton and all that.
I know, yeah, of course, yeah. No, he's not thick at all.
But so with you, like you're obsessed by magic.
I do love magic, yeah.
No, obsessed, Reece.
Yeah, I do. I am quite obsessed with it. Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It's a sort of childhood hobby that's maintained, and I kind of have grown back into it with my friendship with like Andy Nyman, who does it professionally, and with Darren and stuff. And I find it fascinating. I find the methods fascinating, and the stuff that looks like it's nothing, but that it's everything.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like acting, you know. That's
but
very
don't
enjoyable
you?
to me.
You go on eBay and buy magic tricks.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, not just that. I mean, I go to these obscure websites and find people that build stuff and spend a lot of money.
Yeah, which your wife hates you for. Doesn't she?
Yeah.
But
Yet another
you tend
toy.
to do that when she's away.
So try and sneak them in the house. She always finds out though, because they're
Well,
all upstairs in my room, my
But so-
magic room.
Is there, because also with the League of Gentlemen, it was very macabre, you know. So
Yes.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of, because you're a really easygoing person, and I just
Yeah,
don't
I think
understand
so.
where that comes from.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the element of surprise and how thrilling that is when you watch a thing and you're not expecting where it's going, and that letting yourself go when you watch a horror film or something that's potentially frightening. I think that's a great feeling. You feel alive, and that's interesting.
We've spoken about this before. I don't like horror films.
I know,
And
it's
if I
surprising
do
to
watch
me.
one, it'll have to be first thing in the morning, because if I watch it at night time,
You want to forget
I
about
won't
it by
sleep.
the end. Yeah, it's interesting, that,
But
isn't it?
you've no problem with that. Do you not have weird dreams?
No, I
because of
don't
it?
have. I never remember my dreams. I never ever remember them.
That is
never.
nonsense.
Well, yeah, I might remember them subliminally or subconsciously,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. Well, I wake up at night, it's like I've died in the night, and I just wake up again, I've come back to life.
But see, that's the weird thing, because like, you've got young kids,
Yeah.
and you love horror, and you're not frightened that some of that will rub off on them.
Not really, no. I mean, I think, if anything, I'm really puritanical. I'm like, they haven't seen Chitty Bang Bang yet, and they're 10 and 11.
Well, I'll take them if you want.
No. It's too scary. And I'm very...
That's not scary.
Child Catcher, the worst terrible memory from
Benny
my
Hill.
childhood. Benny Hill is in it, I can see.
He is the child catcher. He's not going to frighten anyone.
Benny Hill isn't the child catcher. He's the
Oh, right,
man
of course he
plays
is,
the child,
yeah. But
the child catcher is Robert Heltman. But and nevertheless, yeah, I'm really, I'm very, I filter through a lot of things that most children have seen, and I don't let my children.
you know,
see it.
I got asked to play the child catcher,
Did you? I remember you telling me. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
but it was like summertime.
But
and I
it
felt
wasn't
like
very good. Was it? I never saw the musical of the
It was
Chitty Bang Bang.
brilliant.
Was it?
Yeah,
What a
it
shame, I
was.
wish I'd seen it.
But I just felt it was like doing panto for the summer.
Yeah,
because all
being
you
a
are
baddie.
going is children.
Yeah, of course you are. It's
Every night.
inappropriate now, anyway. You know that everyone
Yeah,
is.
very much for
Yeah.
me anyway. But that's the thing. So like, but you can't kind of gauge where this love of horror
No,
came
I can't
from.
really. I mean, I would loved when I was little. I had a toy skeleton, a skull that I called a mermaid.
What's a mermaid?
Don't know, it's a made up name. I called it my mermaid, and I got it from Hull Fair in about 1972, and I was obsessed with it. And it had a little bit of scraggly hair on it, glow in the dark skull. And I just
What
was,
age were you then?
I don't know, 10, 9, 8.
Oh, I thought it'd be a bit younger.
Yeah, and I don't think. Not like, I mean, I can't remember beyond that, but like 4 years old and watching horror. I wasn't particularly like presented with horror films when I shouldn't have been. I felt like I was quite old when I watched them. We were the video nasty age.
To be fair, Hull is a horrible place.
It's also City of Culture 2017.
Not yet, though.
Yeah, but it will be.
Well, hang on. Have you been there lately?
No, I went last year when I was honoured with an honorary doctorate from Hull
And you
University.
took that?
I've got 2 now.
Right.
Double doctor. Yes, I took it.
I wouldn't
What
take
do you mean?
it.
What do you mean? Why
I
would you
would
take
not
it?
take it, 'cause
What,
I'm
from
just
Hull? Or anywhere?
From anywhere.
Why? It's because you've never been asked. When presented...
I have been asked, actually.
Why didn't you do it then?
I just went, I didn't study. So.
But it's about your body of work that you've done in your career, not about studying philosophy.
See, the only thing I'll say, like, I've been to Hull quite a lot lately. I don't know why that is, but I played the folk festival in Beverley, and Beverley is such a lovely place.
Beverley's lovely, yeah.
But then I had to get the train from Hull, and this was at like 9:30 on a Sunday morning,
Right.
and I was frightened of people.
That's because you're
9:30.
older now and fearful of the youth.
There's a very good point to that.
Yeah.
But it is. It's a weird place, and
It is weird. Hull is weird because you don't. There's no like unless you're you and you're having to go there. You don't. There's no reason to go there. You have to choose to go there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can bypass it all the time, and that makes for an odd kind of oxbow lake of peculiarity.
I'm really hoping the city culture really helps it, because and I'm not taking the piss out of Hull. I think it needs that because,
Right.
as I say, just walking around it, it's a frightening place.
Right. Well, not the people that live there wouldn't say so. They'd be friendly toward me.
Well, the Yorkshire people are friendly anyway.
Yeah, they are.
That's
yeah.
a given.
How can you live in London and then go to Hull and think you're frightened?
But I'm telling you, it was 9:30 in the morning, and I was scared.
Is it the 9:30
witless.
part?
Well, yeah, because I shouldn't be frightened at 9:30 in the morning.
You watch horror films at 9:30 in the morning.
Well, yeah, I didn't that much. I saw one that day, but isn't that really weird? Because you were brought up there, and like I know your brother's a fisherman and stuff.
Yes, he is.
So
yeah.
like, what was the situation? Because like, you must have had, and I don't mean this in a bad way, like ideas above your station, because you must have been nothing expected of you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was always arty. I wanted to do art. I'm good at drawing, and that was my career. That was what I was going to do, and I was kind of like, oh, you're the one that's going to go to art school in.
So they
and I did
helped you with that?
Yeah, and I got A-level art in 1 year and got an A and was just all on course, and I got a place in the graphic design school in Hull.
Graphic design is not art, Reece.
Well, I was going to be able to do art within it. And then I suddenly, last minute, thought, and confounded everyone's expectations, because I said, I don't want to do it, I want to act. And I went to Bretton Hall, which was hedging my bets.
Was there a moment where you went, I want to act?
Well, just through doing it with like video cameras and school plays, and I enjoyed doing it.
Okay.
I enjoyed writing sketches and being silly, and enjoyed acting. Never really thought I could do it, but I thought if I don't try it now, this is the crossroads. I've got to try and do it.
And what age were you then?
Leaving school, so I was, 18, because I did sixth form.
So obviously you were very driven then.
I think so, yeah. And looking back now, we were really driven. I look back at the whole progression of where we went. We did League of Gentlemen, we left college.
Yeah, but no, let's not skip over that. So,
yeah, but I never thought that I would have the drive to end up where we are now. But I was driven enough to think, yes, I want to leave home. It was bizarre to me to think I was going to leave home.
It was Hull, of course you were going to leave.
Yeah, but that, all my life had been there, and then suddenly moving. It was only an hour away, to be fair.
It was Leeds, yeah?
Yeah, Wakefield.
So, God, Wakefield, that's another terrible place.
No, you're making a lot of enemies.
No, I'm just being truthful. I played that beautiful theatre in Wakefield,
Yeah,
which
the
is
Opera House.
which is the one right beside the prison.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And again, I like
Confuse
to
the two.
Well, I tend to walk around the towns. This was around
Fucking frightened.
yeah 3:30. Everyone was drunk.
In Wakefield?
Yeah, I assume because they were unemployed.
Right, well, yeah, probably.
But I was still fascinated by who was in the prison, because they got
some bad people in that one.
some really bad people.
Yeah.
But my biggest memory of Wakefield is this guy came into the show, like he obviously paid in, came in 5 minutes late and just went, he was about 70, went, sorry for being late, and left 5 minutes before the end, even though it was a narrative, the show I was doing. He went, Sean, loving the show, have to go.
Really?
Yeah. And I kind of just went...
He had another show to go to that it was 5 minutes late for.
very much. But it was like... Because like, there's a line I do, weirdly, at Beverley, I just said, I will never ask anyone directions in Yorkshire, because if you say to someone in Yorkshire, is Wakefield over to the left? They go, I went to Wakefield when I was a child for the summertime, and all of a sudden you're there a half hour later going, so is it to the left? And that's what Yorkshire people... And I love that about them.
Yeah.
But you need a lot of time to be in Yorkshire. but having said that, like, when I slag off Wakefield, then they've got that brilliant museum and the Barbara Hepworth.
Yeah, yeah.
And also in the Yorkshire Sculpture Park is one of the most amazing places in the world.
And that is exactly where we were, because that was where Bretton Hall was situated, at the Yorkshire Bretton Hall. Yorkshire.
Really?
Yeah, that was where it was, yeah.
And so...
It's not there anymore, it's a teacher training college.
When you went to the class...
Oh, no, maybe it's not even that, I think it's a police, anyway, who knows what
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
When you went to the class, were you all in the same class? You and Steve and Mark?
No, Mark and Steve were the year above.
Right.
So I was like this fledgling that they were laughing at. And,
Steve's kind of... he seems to have now got this situation of the put-upon person in every programme.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're speaking about Happy Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more than that, he tends to play that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's like for a while Mark played Vickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how I don't...
So, but you and Steve wrote number 9, and then with Mark, obviously you're still good friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But you just got too busy with other stuff.
I think so, yeah. There was talk the other week about, and there is talk of doing something together, but it's just setting aside the time and going, right, we really are going to do it, and we're going to start from now.
Yeah, but Mark will insist it's Doctor Who, though, won't he?
No. I think he wants to do something with us again. And it'd be good, and I think the time would be right to
But wasn't
work
it,
together again.
if I'm correct as well, it's you and Steve wrote together, and then Mark wrote the other stuff?
With Jeremy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Mostly,
and that's always been the way it was?
Yeah. We did cross-pollinate sometimes, but generally that was the writing teams, yeah.
So when you were in Bretton Hall, was it a situation where you all joined the drama kind of sort?
Well, Steve and Mark were already doing stuff, and they were like fabled for doing these great shows that went to the National Student Drama Festival and Edinburgh Festival, and they'd done stuff, and they were like the ones that were doing stuff outside of the norm and writing their own stuff and putting it on where they needn't have. You know, what was good about Bretton, it wasn't very good, was that it left you to your own devices. So if you had a natural instinct to want to do shows and
that's
plays...
pretty much every university.
I guess so, yeah. But as far as like teaching you voice and movement, it was just like jumping around at 8:45 in the morning. Wasn't very good.
And so...
I think it got good, but we were not there.
How did you jump into, like, obviously these guys who were a year above you?
Well, I didn't know them at Bretton. I knew them, and I was kind of slightly in awe of them because they were doing kind of what I would like to do. And I did my own version of it in my year. And then I didn't really know them as friends. I knew them a little bit, but not massively. And it wasn't until 3 years after Bretton that we came back together to do sketches together.
See, well, how did that come about? Like, I take it you were in different places
it was in London. I moved to London in 1990. And in 1992, Steve, out of the blue, contacted me and asked me to do the poster for Death Warmed Up, which was a play that they'd done at Bretton and were now remounting at the Canal Cafe in Maida Vale. And he knew I was good at art. And somehow, literally out of nowhere, I got a phone call from him, and I was like, oh, right, yeah, good.
But just to do the poster?
Yeah, it was nothing to do with being in it or acting in it.
So were you, kind of, when you're doing it, drawing the poster, kind of going, I'm pretty good as an actor?
I could do this as well. No, not particularly, but I think he always thought I could do it, and knew we were like-minded. But then it wasn't until Gordon Anderson, who was a friend of Jeremy's, who was a director of The Fringe, he put us together as a group and said, you should do some sketches together. And I've got a slot, and it was at the Cockpit Theatre, which is shut now in off the Edgware Road. And we did some of the first sketches ever that were to become some of the characters from the League. And that was how it started.
So was it like, you know, sometimes when people write a film, they'll put a big, like, whiteboard of, you know, saying this is what's going to happen to each character. Was that a bit like that with the League of Gentlemen?
No, not really. The initial thing was always just a sketch with a funny idea. So a Reece, that woman that doesn't like the unemployed, an agony aunt that's horrible with their advice. So it was just a joke thing that you could just get very quickly. But then what was different, I think, was that we then ran with that idea. So we took Pauline and did another scene with her, and the characters had a bit more of a tussle with her, and it became more of a story, and the initial joke went by the wayside, but you stayed with the character. Weirdly,
my favourite bits, and I hope they're the bits you wrote, and I think they were, was, and this goes through all your career in that sense of, you take on the grotesque and you go, right, that's the given.
Yeah.
But it's things like, I will never forget that line in The League of Gentlemen when, like, the whole day had gone really bad, and you just went, have we missed the sandwiches?
Have we missed the cakes?
So, was that yours?
Yes, yeah.
See, I can always tell. And it's a bit like the clown in Psychoville,
yeah.
when he goes, I paid for that call.
Yes, yeah, I'm paying for that.
Yeah, that's you, yeah.
Yes.
See, and that's what I love about it. I can always tell when they're your lines. And, I'm sure, like, you don't, like, go, it's a collaborative thing.
No, of course, yeah. I don't recall a lot of...
But isn't it really weird? You always go for the kind of minutiae.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what it is that works with me and Steve writing, but I think it's a good pairing, because I think we do help one another's failings. I mean, Steve's very particular and with structure and everything, and I'm just a bit more instinctive, and I just think it'll be funny, and he kind of trusts me with that. And together we managed to put the stuff together.
All right, having collaborated with people before, are you the walker around the room, or are you the writer?
Probably the walk around the room. I prefer doing that than writing. Although sometimes he will say, "Will you do this for me?" I have to take the reins. But yeah, we do it a lot in the room together, and there's a lot of silence and a lot of thinking and working out what it is we want to get out of a scene before we even start writing it, so we don't feel trapped.
You put in a lot of work, I know that for a fact. But, but that's the thing, that do you not miss that in that sense of, like, we are, like, you won't admit to any of this, but when you're acting, sometimes you're looking at those lines going, these are shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially, when you've written your own.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's another process that it all goes through when you start rehearsing it, which is the realisation suddenly that you've toiled all this time and you don't need half of it. Yeah. And you think, I can do that in a look. I can literally... I've just realised now, standing on its feet, that's all redundant. We could just go from there to there. And it's always better. If ever you can get rid of words, do.
But do you actually... hassle's not the right word, but do you kind of consult a director, or do you just let them get on with it?
No, I think that we're probably overly... deferential.
I'm talking about your acting, not the League of Gentlemen.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, I do, yeah. I often want to know what they want out of it, and then and I've got what ideas they've got. I do generally just do what I think, and then it's like... The best ones are when they make you better, and they make you do something you never would have thought of doing. So
what's the best thing that will spring to your mind that's happened in that sense?
Well, just the other day, doing High Rise with Ben Wheatley, I was doing this scene.
Now, Ben Wheatley, you have to explain, is probably one of the best directors knocking about now, yeah?
I think he's doing really well, yeah, and he's got a real vision, and he's very, he's great, Ben, because he's not stupid, and he kind of adjusts his role in the equation of being director to the level of input that he knows he'll have. So with Field in England, which was his film I did, it was really low budget, and he had total control because there was no risk. It cost the same as a half-hour television program.
But it was that weird thing, wasn't it, where they put it on the cinema, the TV, the internet the same day?
I think that was Ben's idea. He wanted just to utilise that point in time when the heat is on it and use it as a lightning rod, and more people watched it because of that. Then it bleed away on a few screens. Yeah. A few months later, it comes on DVD, and they go, "What? Oh, right, yeah." And you just harness it. So it was an event.
See, again, you probably won't want me bringing this up, but I watch Sunday Brunch purely to see friends.
I remember you texted me saying, "I can't wait for that."
Purely to see friends feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. Like, I don't want to slag Tim Lovejoy off, but like, you're there.
You haven't seen it.
I know. Just exactly what I'm saying. He went. I was given it a couple of nights ago, didn't bother watching it.
Didn't watch it, I was watching the football, you know how it is.
And I just watched your face, just go...
I was furious.
Yeah, I don't blame you in the slightest, but isn't it that... Because you went on Loose Women as well, which is the most uncomfortable thing.
I know, well, I was loath to do it, but they said it would be good for one last push for the widower. It was fine, actually, and they only spoke about the widower. I was primed that I was going to be talking about... a royal baby and a royal portrait and a new diet that's only water, and I was like, I don't fucking know anything about any of this. I have no interest. But they didn't mention it. They only spoke, I think, unusually about the programme because they were all hooked on it.
But I could still feel your uncomfort because I can. Oh, you're exactly the same as me. As you can't hide your uncomfort.
Yeah, no, I'm not very good at just being me, and I always avoid it. I've just done Celebrity Squares.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I've lulled into it with nostalgia.
Sorry, no. When you say nostalgia, do you mean money?
No, it genuinely was. Oh, I remember Celebrity Squares with Bob Monkhouse.
Yes, you remember it being shit.
No, I remember it being fun and like the 6 to 9 people in the boxes. Anyway, I did it, and I shouldn't have done it.
So, what square were you in? Who was on with you?
Andy Peters.
Right. See,
I can't remember all the names.
You are better than this.
I know, and I thought that, and I thought long and hard, but I thought, oh no, fuck it, it'd be alright, it'd be fine, so what? What's the worst that can happen? Nothing.
Well,
I always think my first thought when
the worst thing that can happen is you are feeling bad about it now.
I know, but I don't feel that bad.
You are probably going to go on holiday when that's on.
It's anecdotally a funny story to have done it. It was fine. And Bridget Christie was on it. She was funny.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, and sat in the dressing room before I went on to do my recording, who'd done the afternoon one, was Barry Humphries, who I met for the first time, which was interesting to meet him. And he said to me, and I thought, oh, God, he said, are you doing this? I said, yeah. He said, it's very easy to very quickly get out of your depth. I thought, oh, Christ. But that's from him, and he was on his Edna.
But surely that would be the opposite, though. It's just like so much culture now is so lowbrow. And that, I know. Consider that. I haven't seen it, but I consider it will be lowbrow.
It's just a Saturday night quiz show, and I'll be on. It will come and go, and no one's going to think any
Did you
worse.
Smile during it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, falsely.
I did it as best I could. I took it as an acting role.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is like I love you so much, but if I ever see you on these programs, I just go, I'm watching this.
Well, exactly, and I do it for you
because
for your entertainment.
Weirdly, and you're in a situation, you're very successful. You're getting lots of work, and I've made a decision where I will not do anything for celebrity anymore. I'll do things for ideas.
For the thing, yeah.
But surely you should feel the same.
Yeah, and I do, and that. Of all the things, I've done nothing else that you could level at me as being like a celebrity thing. I mean, I'm uncomfortable even. I'm not a celebrity. I'm very rarely on. I'm not known.
I remember you telling me that the whatever film you were doing at the time, they wanted you to be on This Morning, and they went, "We don't know who he is."
Yeah, they did.
That must be really. Thanks very much.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I heard back that we don't know who he is, but it was. He's not enough to be sat on the sofa.
I did This Morning once, and again. PR, makes you do these things.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I was supposed to do an interview, and at the last minute, they had me reviewing the papers instead.
Oh, God, I see. This is what I dread when you go on these things and they're suddenly asking you about the darts or something, and I don't know anything about it. I'm not here. I'm very happy to witter on about the thing itself for as long as you like, but don't draw me on, the
darts.
latest budget or darts, for example.
What do you think of the reshuffle at the cabinet?
I don't really know about it. I think
they're bringing in all the women.
I know, yeah. Well, that's good, isn't it?
I don't know. Not for the sake of it. Like, what do you think about it? Like, obviously you don't do panel shows, but I feel quite strongly that, like, Mock the Week and the like, they have to have a female on now. And I think
is that a given? Is that right?
Yeah. They have to have a female. And I just think that's patronising to the woman in that situation. Yeah,
well, I don't... It's...
Look, you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but there's a rule like that is odd, I think.
Yeah.
In this day and age, yeah, absolutely. But I don't watch it, I'm afraid. All I know about Mock the Week is that the last episode of Cycleville got moved and its finale because Mock the Week was coming back. So I don't have a lot of love for it. No,
say
it
with
You're not going to make me angry. You normally
Reece,
do.
you are one of the most angry people I know.
I'm calmed down a bit now.
Why is that?
I don't know. My blood pressure won't take it.
But listen, what are you up to at the moment then? I know you're doing the Ben thing. You're
doing
halfway through
them high-rise, yeah. I'm just writing more inside number 9s. It's very sedentary at the minute, so I've been going to the gym.
And are you going to do another silent one?
No. I think it would be... people are so pathetic. It would be, oh, yawn. They've done that already, can't think of anything else. Even though it would probably be very good.
But, like you must...
We'd really challenge ourselves to do things that are surprising, and, you still get
I know, but that's... modern life, though.
Yeah, true. But we're very pleased with that one, and that was a experiment in can you do it, and it was hard to do. 28 pages of stage direction.
It was brilliant.
Well, that's very kind.
And I think it will go down, as I say.
Yeah, it's funny. BBC have already repeated it. They've repeated it on terrestrial television
as one-off, didn't they?
Just a one-off, yeah.
And so,
what does that mean?
Is this a bit of a weird one as well? Like, do you ask Mark what he thinks of all these? When you and Steve write stuff.
He'll text me and say he saw it and say it was good, yeah, or whatever. We do manage to see each other's things, and I watch Sherlock and say, oh, it was great last night, or whatever. Not out of duty, just if I've seen it. Some things I haven't seen, so I can't comment on them.
On purpose?
Yeah, deliberately avoid. But he's always very supportive, yeah. I think he's enjoying working on... He's doing Map and Lucia with Steve. And it's a drama from BBC Drama, but it's comedy, and I think he's enjoying doing a bit of comedy again.
Yeah, because he kind of went out of the comedy bit for
a while, he's doing his Sherlock and his...
And so, are you just starting number 9 now?
So no, I've written about 3 of them.
But you, weirdly, you write very quickly, though, don't you?
Well, I don't know what quickly is. I mean, it's about 8 months normally before we think we're ready to present them to
Yeah,
anybody.
but then when you write them very quickly.
Yes,
think
I
about
think
them
so.
long and hard.
Yeah. I guess so. Yes, writing. Yeah, and there's a lot of rewriting, but yeah, very. The scripts are good when we hand them in. They're not ropey and need a lot of work.
Listen, Reece, it's been an absolute pleasure as ever.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for
I
having
guess what's the next thing people can see you on television?
That'll be the ITV detective drama I did called Chasing Shadows.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that.
And
And obviously Celebrity Squares.
Yeah,
which
more importantly, I don't know
should-
when that's on.
Well, I will plug it
Yeah.
to death once
Please
I
do.
find out. You've been listening to Under the Radar with me, Sean Hughes, my very special guest, Reece Shearsmith. This is a Dog in the Fields production. I hope you enjoyed it.